Hi, my name is David McCullough, President of Catalyst Industries. I'm not an actor, so I'm going to be using the script during the video, so I don't leave out any important details. I don't want to hear any grief about it either. We all have our skill sets, this isn't mine. Okay, here we go. What exactly is ProMold? ProMold is a new product from Catalyst Industries. It is a plastic with a low melting point temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This allows it to be applied on numerous substrates without any damage to that substrate. Also, not much sticks to it, so you don't need any special mold release agent. ProMold is used for two main purposes in the auto body industry. The first use is to make a body filler spreader for a particular style line, and the second use is to make a sanding block for a particular style line. The product has many other uses as well, such as for crafts, prototyping, how about a custom socket set holder? How about brackets or mounts? The uses are really only limited by your imagination. We're not getting a lot of work done around here lately because we're too busy playing with this stuff. It's great. In this short video, we'll be making a spreader. In the next video, as I said, we'll be making a sanding block, which is a little bit more involved, but it's still very easy to do. If I can do it, you definitely can. You may ask, why make a spreader in the shape of a style line? The answer is that your body work will be about 90% complete without even having to sand it. If you use the technique correctly, some practice will be needed, and some practice will be needed as with anything. Your filler will be very close to the correct shape before you even reach for the sanding block, thus saving an enormous amount of time. Of course, this won't be useful for every dent encountered, but for more complex style lines it is extremely useful. We start by pouring a little over 6 ounces or half of the bag of ProMold into a glass or ceramic coffee cup or other similar container. This is the part I want everybody to be careful about. Microwaves vary, and we want to melt it until it just turns clear. We don't want to get it too hot for a couple of reasons. We don't want to burn, so we'll start out with a minute here. We don't want to burn the paint on the vehicle, and it's possible, just like it's possible to superheat water, it's possible to superheat the ProMold, and there's a possibility of explosive reaction if you get it too hot, and we don't want anybody to get burned. So be careful, start out with about a minute, and then check it and do 20 to 30 second intervals until the pellets will turn from white to clear. Okay, in our microwave, for the amount I put in the cup, it took us 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and you can see, hopefully you can see that it's clear now, and this is what it looks like before it's melted. These little white pellets. And you don't have to worry about getting the exact amount in the cup. If you don't use it all, you can remelt it later and use it again. You can save your blocks if you do a lot of one particular car, or just remelt them, use them again on the next style line. So it's a pretty economical tool in that regard, because you can melt it over and over again until, you know, eventually it's going to get dirty and you're going to want to buy some more. Please buy more. Okay, we're going to head outside now to the vehicle and show you how it's applied to the car. Okay, I use a paint stick, or you can use some other implement if you want, to get the ProMold out of the coffee cup and onto the vehicle. Here we go. This isn't a particularly difficult style line, but it happens to be the vehicle that we have handy here at the shop, so we'll just show you how it's done. We're just going to spread it directly onto the surface. And it's a good idea to make sure that the section you're putting it on is clean. Just wipe it off with a damp towel or whatever it takes to get it clean. We got to usually pressure wash them around here in North Idaho. They're pretty muddy. Alrighty, that's on there. Now I'm going to get some cold water and cool off the surface and show you how to make an impression of your hand, and so it'll be a custom fit, and pull the Pro Mold up through your fingers so you have something to grip to when you... Okay, we've got a bucket of cold water here. I'm just going to... Actually, we'll get another bucket. We're going to splash it up there and cool it off. And so I can touch it. Ready? I'm going to get my hand wet just so it stays cool, and I'm going to make an impression of my hand, and I'm going to pull it. See how I'm pulling it up through my fingers? So I've got something to grip with once it's cool. And continue to cool until it stays in place. Ice water is helpful. But not necessary. And you could just form it into a handle if you wanted to. It's all personal preference. See where the thin part is starting to solidify. This process goes really fast in the winter time. Okay, we're just going to leave that there and let it cool off. This took about 18 minutes to cool off. We helped it out with a little cold water from the hose. If you do it ahead of time, just walk away from it, let it cool off. It might take half an hour, it might take 45 minutes, depending on how thick you get it, what the ambient temperature is. When it's ready, it falls right off. That's how you know it's ready. Do not try to release it by forcing it, because you will distort your mold. So now we have our molds. Pretty easy, huh? I got it in the shape of my hand, custom fit. I can use that as a spreader. If I had a dent right there, I could take my regular spreader, fill it in a little bit, and take my Pro Mold and squish that right on there till it seats, and your bodywork's 90% done right there. Pretty easy. That's it for this video. Please see Pro Mold making a sanding block to learn the second main use for Pro Mold. It's pretty much the same as you just saw here, with a few minor differences, which we'll explain. You probably also want to check out Sonic Bond, how to use Sonic Bond. It's another really cool product from Catalyst Industries that's catching on. It is a universal plastic repair kit that cures in 4 seconds. Yep, 4 seconds. And it's very strong. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Here's one of my favorite ideas for Pro Mold. It has nothing to do with sanding blocks or spreaders, but it's a real easy way to make a custom socket set holder. I just have a cookie sheet here. You can use whatever you've got handy, and it doesn't take a lot of Pro Mold to make one of these. And you can hear it. The air bubbles crackling out of there. I got this a little bit hotter than you want to. I want you guys to be safe out there, not burn yourself. Just do a light spread on here. And we're going to gently set these sockets in there. You don't want to push down too hard, or it'll come up through the hole and kind of balloon out through the top, and when it gets cured, when it cools off, you won't be able to get the sockets out. So you just want to gently set it in there. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and cool this off, let this cool off for a minute, and then we'll come back and set it in because it's a little bit warm. Okay, I just ran a little bit of cold water over this to cool it down, and we're back now. We're just going to gently set our sockets in the Pro Mold. Yeah, I could have made it a little bit longer, but you'll get the idea. I'll just set this one on the side. That's kind of rising up a little bit. Kind of gently lift up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this on over to the cool water and cool it off so we're finished. And here we have our custom socket holder. Pretty neat, huh? You can make that a square, whatever size shape you need to fit in your toolbox. I want to show you one more thing. We made this custom socket set holder, but I had a slight problem with it. I have two sockets that went a little too deep, and I cannot get them out. So I have to redo this. So if you want to reuse your Pro Mold, I have some hot water here, microwaved till just boiling. That's 212 degrees. Pro Mold melts at 140. Just set it in there and let it start to soften up. And you can kind of scrunch it up after you get it nice and soft. I don't want to get my fingers in there. And put it right back in your coffee cup. Minus the sockets, obviously you don't want to microwave metal.